The show for today. The topic is perpetuating the revolving door syndrome, and we're talking to Pastor Walker in reference to this system. And of course, Pastor Walker, the last time, segment, we talked about the parole board and the parole system. Let's have you to deal almost exclusively with this as a system this morning, because I think that you've indicated that there are some states that have already eliminated the parole board. And so let's talk about Tennessee in reference to all of that.
Absolutely. I think it would be a good thing because we talk about the crime rates, and then we talk about the cost of incarceration. And then when you look at the parole board that's keeping people incarcerated that have earned the privilege of being paroled. They know they're not coming back into the system. They know that the institutional record says, you know, this person can be paroled and this person will go out. I mean, they got a support system out. They got a family out there. They got churches that's willing to support them. They got other types of agencies that's willing to help them make that transition, that's going to help them walk them through the process. They know they're not coming back, but they're keeping them incarcerated, and that's at a cost to the state. So if you got a part of your vehicle that's causing your vehicle to not run right, you need to fix that part of the vehicle. And that part that's causing the system to not run right is the parole board, because that's what they're doing. They're keeping people in the prison system who have definitely qualified for release from the system, and then letting other people that have not qualified for release, be released out into our society, been a threat to our society, been a threat to our safety, knowing these people have not qualified for release. So I would say, Dr. Haney, to solve that problem would be to abolish the parole board system here in the state of Tennessee altogether, like some of the other states. I think it's like 16 states, California, Delaware, Ohio, Indiana, New Mexico, and some others, Washington State, I believe. I believe New York has done it too as well. I'm not sure about that, but I think they have. I don't know exactly all the processes that's in place in that particular makeup, because I'm still researching and studying that.
But the fact is that these 6 or 7 individuals have the ability throughout the state to determine individuals who will get out of the system. And in a real sense, it appears that they seem to be abusing that ability. Is that what we're...
Well, they're doing it arbitrarily against different ones, you know, and somebody walk in there and they say, okay, you can go, but you can't, you know, and it's not really based upon the individual merits of that individual inmate. It's just based upon what they think or what they feel. Or even so, with this one situation with this guy I was telling you about, I believe that somebody in this process knows the victim is doing somebody a favor. I believe, in all honesty, I believe they're waiting for the victim to actually decease before they actually parole this guy. And there's no real reason for that. I just think it's some underhanded stuff that's going on in this process right there. And for that reason, and it's discriminatory. You know, when you take a black man that's been incarcerated for the same time that, and I've got the documentation, Dr. Haney, I got these individuals' file folders from the Tennessee Department of Correction, and they have been released, same charges, been released from prison, had bad institutional records, but yet they were released, and some of them has come back into the system, man. And then you take somebody that's well qualified to be released, have earned that privilege, and again, parole is not a right, but if you put me in the system and you give me a parole date and I do everything necessary to earn that right or that privilege to be paroled, then why do you hold me in there at a cost to the state of Tennessee? And then somebody needs to look at that.
Well, it appears that we're looking at it now, and I think that what you're doing, you're revealing some things to me that I was not aware of. You're telling me that these 6 or 7 individuals, not only in the state of Tennessee, but wherever these boards exist, they have the power to, in a real sense, arbitrarily, as you indicated, that you think that somebody is being held in prison because they anticipate this individual that would like to have him. Well, see, that seems to be a corruption of the whole process.
It is. It's got to be some corruption in there. I can't name it completely or directly, but you know, you take for example, you got investigative news reporters. They want to go around and investigate this and investigate that. I emailed and called Phil Williams and told him about, you need to look into the parole system.
But nobody wishes to.
Nobody respond to me on that. You know, why not? I mean, what's keep you from looking at that?
Would that be a political thing that if an individual wishes to deal with it, that individual might be declared to be what, soft on crime? Would that be one of the justifications that would steer folks away, politicians away from dealing with it?
Yeah, it's possible that person would look at him as being soft on crime. But and I need to say this again. I believe if you commit a crime in the state of Tennessee or in the United States of America, period, and you did that crime, I believe you should be punished for that. I believe you should be tried, you should be convicted, you should be sentenced, you should go to prison. But at the same time, I believe if you have rehabilitated yourself, which is the purpose of incarceration, punishment, and rehabilitation, then I believe you should be released into society so that you can come back out and contribute to society, and not to put up all these roadblocks. And again, Dr. Henry, another thing too is, man, I committed crimes when I was in my 20s. Dr. Henry, I'm 55 years old. Man, look here. Why do I still have to have my criminal record background following me for the rest of my life? Man, I've been pastoring since 1993. I've been in ministry since 1986, man.
And you know, we've talked about that, and as a matter of fact, that's one of the things that I wanted to talk